teams and the time it takes to grade trades. Nothing but high marks for the Clippers, who took a risk that paid off. Now they're thinking big, real big.
Big time finish for the Clippers!
Finding ways to win games. You get yourself a chance to be the last team standing.
Our job is to make sure that every night we keep chipping at the ultimate goal, and that's the championship.
The Heat, on the other hand, are waiting on a trade to take.
Rozier put Durant on skates.
Being part of the Heat culture, I think I fit right in. I'm just here to contribute and help this team get over that hump.
Miami has patience and a pedigree, knowing down the road more is at stake.
I am not one of them hoping it work, and I'd rather go put the work in.
Tonight, two teams in different states. One firing on all cylinders.
The Clippers dominating.
The other getting back on pace.
Butler is amazing. Welcome to NBA Sunday, presented by State Farm. Over the last 2 months, the NBA's best record belongs to the LA Clippers. They've won 24 of their last 29 games, entering tonight's affair in South Florida against the Miami Heat. Paul George recently selected to his 9th All-Star game. Meanwhile, Jimmy Butler not an All-Star for Miami, but still playing at a high level. The Heat has won 2 in a row coming into tonight. And hi, everybody. Dave Pash with JJ Redick. We'll check in with Monty McNutt here in a little bit. JJ, you look at the Clippers, and it's a starting lineup brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. And a change in the starting 5 for both teams. Ivica Zubac is back at center for the Clippers after missing the last 9 games due to a calf injury. And a late scratch is Tyler Hero. He still could play. He's been dealing with migraines today, so he will not start. Instead, Josh Richardson makes his 6th start of the year. And T. Lue does not like the sloppy start. He calls a timeout.
And Terry Rozier again operating in the 2-man with Bam. Easy pull-up.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Going here the last couple times for LA.
And the LA Clippers getting out in transition. Back-to-back. Easy dunks.
Pass. And the first quarter comes to an end with Miami leading by 3. So Kawhi Leonard off to the All-Star game for the 6th time. Got out in transition. Bring the Clippers back from 11 down to get within 3 after 1. Norman Powell, his 2nd 3. And the Clippers have the lead. Timeout Miami. First lead of the day for Los Angeles. Well, the LA Clippers hoping to cruise to their first ever NBA Finals. They have the best record in the league the last 2 months, and one of the reasons why Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are actually playing together. Their first 4 years, it was about a third of the games. They brought in Russell Westbrook last year after things didn't work out with the other team in LA, and then the James Harden trade off to a slow start, 0-5, and then Russell Westbrook went to the bench. They're 29-8 since. And you brought this point up and wanted our graphics team to build this. Rozier off to a great start, 8 points, and a timeout by T. Lue. Let's check out who's in the zone, brought to you by AutoZone.
Terry Rozier, 8 early points for the Miami Heat. The pull-up at the foul line. Then he puts Paul George in a spin cycle. The tough baseline jumper over Norman Powell. And then this one-legged from the free throw line. As the kids say, he's a bucket.
Timeout Clippers. Jimmy Butler's first 3.
And Jimmy Butler, who was reticent to shoot threes in a Miami Heat uniform for 4 years, at 44% this year. Shoot him, Jimmy.
Not have counted, and the first half comes to an end. Not a thing of beauty offensively for either team, but good defense by both squads. Toyota halftime coming up with Malika and Chene. Bradley Beal back in our nation's capital for the first time as a member of the Phoenix Suns. We have a tie game at halftime. Both teams shooting around 40% from the floor. Kawhi Leonard had 11 to pace the Clippers. Jimmy Butler at 9 for the Heat. 43 apiece at the break. NBA Sunday is presented by State Farm. Here in South Florida, the Miami Heat, their fewest point total in any half this season, but excellent defense, and so they're tied with the Clippers, 43 apiece. Our first half stats brought to you by Ford. Both teams shooting right around 40%. Bench points +7 in favor of the Clippers. Miami led by as many as 11, and there were only 7 fouls in that first half. Dave Pasch, J.J. Redick, Monica McNutt. Boy, Kawhi Leonard for a while. Kawhi Leonard taking over here in the third quarter.
Kawhi Leonard showing off the two-way brilliance. The tap away from Butler, the easy two. Is there anything Kawhi Leonard can't do? Pass, defend, shoot, score. Big third for Kawhi.
Low scoring game in Miami. Clippers with a 2-point lead after 3.
And Kawhi Leonard with a dominant third quarter on both ends of the floor. The steals and the blocks. A couple of threes. Clippers up 2. And we said it earlier, Dave. On time, on target. When you're a shooter, you love playing with James Harden.
It's for Plumlee. Zubats is back as the starter, but Plumlee's been really good here with this second unit here early on in the fourth.
James Harden up to 10 assists here in Miami. He has delivered 2 perfectly executed no-look passes. The first to Norman Powell for 3, and then finds his buddy Kawhi Leonard. And that little no-look shifts the defense. And
Actually, Clippers called a timeout before the foul occurred, so back in a moment. 1:17 remaining from Miami. So you got James Harden with 20 points. He's also got 11 assists. Paul George has been a struggle from the floor, but he didn't force it in the second half. Didn't even have an attempt until early in the fourth quarter. Kawhi Leonard just phenomenal across the board. And overall, the team defense by the Clippers here in the fourth, holding Miami to 18 points. Timeout. Ty Lue shaking his head in disgust, but his team's on its way to a win. Clippers trying to stay atop the standings in the loss column with Oklahoma City and Minnesota. You got Denver a game back. And then 5-12 seems to change daily in the West. Sacramento, it was a week ago they were 9th, and now they're back to 5th. Tied for first in the loss column in the West with another impressive win away from home. 103-95 to improve to 33-15. And since December 1st, 25-5, the best record in the NBA. They'll wrap up their 7-game road trip tomorrow in Atlanta against the Hawks. For J.J. Redick, Monica McNutt, Dave Pasch, thanks so long from Miami. Coming up next, Pickleball Slam 2 right here on ESPN.